Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. I'm going to be doing an update on all of my exotic fruit trees and plants over the course of the next few days, hopefully, because it is summertime and most of them have been moved outside. In fact, all of them except for the Starfruit have been moved outside. And I figured I would start with these and explain also why I'm not moving them outside. So it's been a while since these have been planted, and I wanted to give an update and show you guys kind of how things are looking after a number of years now. The first Starfruits that I planted, I don't have an exact date for. I believe they were started kind of at the beginning of 2017, but basically I don't think I was making videos on them at that time yet, so I don't know exactly how old they were. But they were featured in some videos that I was doing in 2018, I think. So you can probably poke through there and see and kind of have a good estimate of what they were looking like at that time, about a year old. And in 2018, in January, I was planting some new ones. And the reason being was that the old ones were looking very, very poor shape, and they were kind of dying. I think I had 3 or 4, I don't even remember how many I had, but I believe all but one of those has died now. And one of these is one of those original ones, and I don't remember which one, but I think it's this one. So if my memory serves me correctly, this one is from like early 2017, probably right from the beginning of the year or so. And then it's had some some trials and tribulations, dried out a couple times here. So this part of the stem is dead. I'm going to actually trim that back pretty soon, and it's putting out some new growth here. It'll start kind of branching out. And sorry for the poor lighting, it's not the best lit room here. But what I've found with these plants is that they actually don't do well when I move them outside. Like even in the summer, last year in the winter they were actually looking quite good, and when I moved them out in the summer, they struggle. I don't know if it's the wind, they can't deal with the wind, or maybe it's just too much sun. I really don't know exactly. I haven't really been able to determine, because I keep them in like a half shade or like a speckled shade under a large tree that provides a decent amount of shade during the day. But these have struggled. I have struggled with the Starfruit in general. I've lost a lot of them, and they have not done too well for the most part. But some of them have done pretty okay, like these guys. And what I noticed is that last winter, I think they did better inside than outside. So yeah, basically my idea is for this summer, I'm just going to keep them inside, and we'll just see, kind of like how they do, and maybe they'll do better than they did in previous years. I water them every maybe 2 or 3 days, and I do keep them mulched. Yeah, that seems to work out pretty well. They just, I don't know, like they just don't do that well for me. I don't know if I'm missing some kind of trick or something, but this one is one of the newer ones, and like I say, this is going on now, what is it, 2.5 years ish, yeah, because it would have been 2018 January. So this one grew like crazy. It's really, really like pretty nice looking. It was extremely top heavy, and what I ended up doing was it got really lanky, and I ended up tying it to this post. So you can imagine, like, this part here was kind of straight up like this. It's very tall. It's like past my waist when I'm standing. But what ended up happening is it got so lanky, and I didn't like it being leaned over so much, so I tied it into the post and tried to keep it straight. Now I could go get another, taller post, or pot it into a bigger plant, into a bigger pot, I should say, sorry. But in the winter, what I noticed is that all on its own, it started putting out these side shoots to try and balance itself. And now it's actually fairly well balanced, so I removed the tie from the post to further kind of encourage it to like strengthen its main trunk and try and balance itself out with these other branches. Like you can see these new branches over here on the side are really countering the weight of this one being leaned over so much. So it's actually trying to balance itself, and I think that's good. And this one seems to have the healthiest leaves and the most leaves and really the most growth, and I think it's looking the best out of all of them. So I'm gonna kind of encourage this to just keep doing as much as it can on its own. I left the post here so that this kind of leans against it so it doesn't flop this way. It's kind of holding it in this plane, excuse me, like this, just to make sure it doesn't flop back and forth. But the weight is really kind of being balanced off by these two branches lower down. So I think this is really cool. I'm really, really happy with this specimen. I think it's doing nice. They do have a pretty cool thing about them. They kind of close up their leaves like this, getting towards the end of the day when the light is getting low, and at night they're just kind of like fully closed, and then during the day they kind of open up, like, you know, to the side, you know, more like this. So it's pretty cool. I really like these plants. I still think they're really neat. They do still have that kind of like star shape if you look over them. It's hard to tell because they've all had so many kind of like issues now, that the shapes are kind of irregular. But you know, this one also was struggling with some dryness. I got to cut that part out. But they're beautiful plants. I really like them. But I'm going to try to keep them indoors right now, and then I will see, you know, what will happen in the future. But for right now, just wanted to show you guys kind of what you can expect for them to be looking like. I have found from growing these various exotic fruit trees, if you look around my channel, you'll see I'm experimenting with a whole bunch of different types of trees. I found that yeah, there's just so many differences. It's probably just due to, you know, the genetic diversity from growing them from seed, that some of them grow quite differently, and they even have different coloration. This one is a much darker green. The leaves are looking a lot healthier. It's a lot more growth. It's faster growing, because like I say, one of these is the original one, which is a full year older than the others, and I think it's that one. So it's like, you know, that one's a little bit bigger than this, but not by much, and it's way smaller than this. So it's just really interesting, and yeah, I just think it's kind of fun growing these. It makes a nice indoor plant too. It just kind of adds a lot of nice kind of green to the room, and I think it looks great. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see how these continue to grow. I will do occasional updates on them, and I will be doing updates on my other trees outside soon in the coming days. But I wanted to show off this one because I am going to be leaving it indoors as an experiment this summer, and we'll see how they fare. Maybe they will actually do better indoors with less sunlight and no wind. So yeah, that's it. If you guys liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you are growing your own starfruit in containers, please do let me know. If you have any tips or have any other ideas of what I should be doing or not doing with them, and I would love to hear them. So if you want to see how I grew these, you know, please do check out my other video. It's really simple though. Basically, in a nutshell, it's using the paper towel method that I've done for many of the other seeds that I've been growing. And yeah, just use a kind of like a standard potting mix. I have like soil that's fairly well drained, and then I just mulch it at the top. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, hope you guys liked it. See you in another video soon.